where do we come from? And where are we going?
Welcome, friends. This is Red Ice Creations Radio. My name is Henrik Palmgren and I am your host. And we are, of course, recording from the west coast of Sweden. This is our own internet talk radio show available through our website, redicecreations.com. That, yes, has been down, or suspended rather, for about a day and a half due to the most, I guess, stupid and silly spam issue and the consequent cowardly behavior of our web server hosting company, 01.com. What's been happening here is that apparently someone with an AOL.com email account have been sending spam or mass email messages with some or to some religious organizations. I don't know all the details yet, but apparently this mail contained a link to an article on redicecreations.com. And this article was actually about the, in quotes here, the dragon, Prince Nicholas de Veer von Drakenberg, for all of you out there who know who this guy is. But anyway, the question I had to the server hosting companies why they didn't relay the issue to AOL's abuse department, and I just don't understand where I or redicecreations.com come into the picture here, but and who decides to link to what sites in their spam emails or whatever. This is something totally out of my control, and I thought that this was pretty obvious, but I guess not. They thought that I was behind the spam advertisement and decided to suspend the site before even consulting me about the issue. And the web server hosting company expressed also fear of being blacklisted, whatever that means. And I mean, my guess is that if the Illuminati is behind making people scared, sheeple that just follows orders without thinking or questioning, well, then I guess that the Illuminati is indirectly involved with this one. I don't know, but I have no idea. I'm going to continue to ask the questions to kind of try to figure out what has happened and why and how we can prevent this from happening in the future, and I'll keep you posted about it. But I don't want to spend too much time on that. I just want to briefly go through so you guys out there know what has been going on. But we do have a guest with us today, and let's spend our time on that for the rest of the show. And it's a great pleasure to have back with us again our good friend, our regular guest, writer, musician, and creative artist Christopher Morse. And of course, Christopher's website is creativecosmos.org, and I suggest everyone to head on over there right away and take a look at his writing, his art, and his music. He got books and CDs and some beautiful prints available with his wonderful art, so pop on over there and take a look. It's creativecosmos.org. And we have a theme for today's show on past lives and previous civilizations. So let me just bring on Chris right away. So say welcome back to the show. It's great to have you back again, my friend.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, nice job, man. That's cool. I was just thinking about some of the art prints today and how I want to take some of the best of them and do a nice edition and put them up on the gift shop so people could get them. And yeah, I mean, that's thanks for the heads up and the overview. And we're always trying to include new things at the Creative Cosmos. And of course, also the Soul School is a thing I spent a good amount of time putting together that might be interesting for some of you to check out, to highlight today if you haven't checked it out before, where I put a whole bunch of links and pictures to masters and people who talk about the astral realms and mystic scientists and all kinds of people that I considered kind of building up the work that we continue here today.
Yeah, sure. I mean, you also got you got consultation through Skype, right?
Yeah, I set that up, just a little link where if you want to talk to me through Skype, just make a little donation or something into the Creative Cosmos coffers, and we'll set up a time to talk. And just like Henrik and I are today, if you have just something on your mind, any kind of a thing. There's all kinds of little astral disturbances that could happen. You might get an entity around you, or you might be getting these dreams you need to get to the bottom of, or you might just be going through awakening and you need a little guidance. Then that might be something that you'd be interested in doing. We could just chat, and I do a pretty good job helping see people through that kind of a thing.
Awesome. I mean, when you do this, do you get a lot of questions in regards to past lives and stuff like that?
Well, sometimes people almost get into that without even realizing that's what they're doing, because they start realizing they have some kind of inclination towards something. I mean, that's one thing, that past lives isn't necessarily in the front of people's minds, so they don't have things that might be related to past lives. They aren't even able to, integrate that way, because it's not even in their mental lexicon. So they might just say, hey, I kind of feel like I remember being here, or I saw this picture and it invoked some kind of a feeling out of me, but going through it, you find that those are the first clues, the first hints towards discovering the story of your own soul's journey through life's incarnations.
Have you ever done some kind of regression yourself, and how did this go about, so to speak?
Yeah, well, I did. I not only did a sort of regression, but I spent years just kind of reabsorbing life after life of experience and knowledge and real presence. The awareness that I gained in that life, I was able to just bring back into the being that I am today, and really make all of that part of what I do in the present. That's, to me, is a really important thing to highlight. So I could start kind of going over one thing that was really helpful is a technique out of Osho's big weighty tome, the Book of Secrets. Osho's got tons of books, and they have different angles and different approaches, but the Book of Secrets is like an encyclopedia of meditation techniques, and it's based in Tantra and some of the stories of Shiva. And one of the techniques that really rung true with me and helped me begin to do this past life regression type of thing was unraveling, basically starting with where you are today and working backwards, like almost creating reverse vortices of time. Usually time is moving forward, but you create a little pocket around yourself of where you just start thinking like where you are today, and you go backwards, last week, a couple weeks ago, a month ago, years ago, and you really feel what it was like to live in those times, and you keep going back and back. And at first, doing that, you hit what is the territory covered by psychology, Western psychology, and the suppressed subconscious things that you've kept inside that needed to be expressed. You'll encounter those first, way before you hit the past lives. So part of the trick is that you have to clear that space out so that your energy isn't being wasted in sustaining the pain of the past, so, the immediate past.
Could this be where many people actually quit the process, so to speak, because it becomes too difficult?
Oh yeah, it's extremely difficult. It's extremely difficult because some of the stuff, it's been just sitting there for many, many years, and some of the stuff is the stuff you desperately avoid. You don't want to see it, and it does hurt, and it makes you maybe for a time feel really vulnerable or really terrified to go back into those things. That's part of where I cultivated a warrior mentality in a sense, and some of the people that I encountered along the way helped bring that about in me. There's fine warrior, Reverend Gabriel Ra, who I was talking to Shab about us going to track him down for a Red Ice exclusive,
right.
driving to him and just catching him for an interview. He said he would do it sometime. He's just one of those spirits that wandered the earth. It might be easier to try to catch him where he is at space. So I think we're going to try to do that. But hearing him speak and being around him, and he actually gave me a sword. I actually encountered him first at a hippie fest in Minnesota, where he had a booth and he was just chilling out there, and he had a bunch of swords. And I came in and I respected his place. I honored the swords, and I recognized spirit in him, and then he saw that and recognized it in me, and we've been like really good. We just don't have to say much because we just kind of recognize it in each other, and he's been really cool. But then I picked out a sword that resonated with me, and he gave it a blessing of courage, which is what I asked for. But anyway, he was that all helped like bring about this strength of spirit to encounter these things in the subconscious, because unless you do that, they will overwhelm you or break you down. You have to have trust. You have to have a certain amount of faith that you'll get through it, and there'll be the other end. And even to the rational mind, one way you can look at it is, if you don't face it, it'll just go on and on and on.
Yeah.
And if you do, no matter how bad it is, it'll be over at some point, and in time it'll fade away. And that energy will be recovered.
So, this is a technique we all can do. We don't have to go to a quote professional, psychic to do that kind of regression to dig this out. This is something we can all access, I guess.
Yeah, it really is. It helps if you have somebody around that you can talk to that actually will provide a comfortable place where you can talk about it a little bit. That's the whole reason of Sangha, in one sense, is just for people who are sharing the journey to be able to at least express a little bit of it. You don't have to. It's just anybody can do it. That's everybody lived their lives, so everyone can go back over their lives. Another way I sometimes might refer to this, or it reminds me a lot of what they say, when you die, you have you flash over your life really quick, and you see, that's what you'd see, and in this kind of a technique, we're going back and doing that consciously now. So essentially, if we do that at the moment of death, when we cross into the other realm, we should be able to do it consciously without any attachment, because we'll have already come to terms with all of that ahead of time.
Oh, yeah, sure. Because I actually did got a kind of a question on that. If you think that we kind of consciously at some point are going to be aware of all of our past lives to kind of draw, learn from them in that sense, because today, when we're coming into these lives, or at least most of us are totally blank, so to speak.
Yeah, I really feel like just coming into the body, that's just part of the whole deal, is that compression, kind of crushes us, and then we learn to look outside through the senses. That's why some of the core of Buddhism was to get over your five senses, and the whole non-attachment and kind of detachment or observation mode is what does that. You can see